believe in God. Like, have faith and believe in yourself more than anything. Like, you're gonna have challenges in life and things like that, but you have to believe in yourself.
Welcome back to Live at the Hive. I'm your host, Janice Jokkel, and today I have got a true community connector. Wow is all I gotta say. I cannot wait for you to hear his story and the impact he is making in this community on the kiddos that are growing up to be leaders and making a difference in today's society. So, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about what you do.
So I'm a trainer. I'm the head trainer for Hutch Sports. I'm a trainer and owner of Hutch Sports Academy.
Okay.
So I work with a lot of athletes. I work from the youth all the way to NFL, NFL players.
Okay. And what is it that you do for them?
I do a lot of speed and agility work and strength training for them.
Okay. What about their mind?
The mind, yes. So,
I'm not going to let you get away with that because it doesn't. Body is one thing, but it's this that makes this body move, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So really, what happens is like when first kid, like say a kid comes in, a high school kid comes in, the first thing is to find out like why did they come here. They know exactly like through the community and that we train vigorous and very hard. Like a lot of people need to understand what XP Sports stands for, and that's Extreme Sports Performance Enhancement. Extreme. So
extreme. What does extreme mean?
So that means we work very, very hard.
Okay.
So when I first started training, I was training down south, training in Atlanta, and my teacher was Tony Villani. So Tony Villani was training like all the NFL guys. So when I was down in Atlanta training, I'm training with like Andre Davis of the Browns, who was a close friend of mine, and then Tequila Spikes, Hines Ward of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm around like some of the NFL greatest athletes, and then training with them in the off season really taught me that to push. I mean, they're pushing at a whole nother level. They're getting very uncomfortable. And then what I learned from doing that, I said, you know what? If they're training like this down south, we need to train like this in Northeast Ohio. So a lot of people in Northeast Ohio are really caught up in the weightlifting of things, like big, but not fast. So when I learned that down south, I started to go there more often and learn. And then I said, nah, this is exactly what we need. This is the missing ingredients. But a stronger athlete is a better athlete at the same time. So I kind of put both of those worlds together. But really the speed element and learning from the best in the business, Tony Villani, and then being a part of the Shred Mill. We call it the Shred Mill Squad, and it's working off of this device that really helps with speed. And that's where some of the, like, when you hear like the fastest 40s, they're coming from XP Sports. So, that was where I took that element and brought to Northeast Ohio.
Wow. And how long have you been here?
I've been in my new facility for over, I think, 6 years now.
Wow. Yeah. But how long have you been doing this?
Oh my God. I've been doing this forever and a day. For me, I'm a graduate of St. Edward High School.
Okay.
So like when I was at St. Ed's, I was around some really great coaches, like phenomenal coaches like Greg Urbis, Howard Ferguson, Mike Simon. Do you know who Mike Simon?
No,
the
never
cook.
had the pleasure.
He's the cook.
Oh yeah, Mike Simon. I'm thinking football and cook. No, so that didn't make a correlation.
This is a very funny story.
Okay.
So he was my wrestling coach.
Oh wow!
So before he was a famous cook, he was my wrestling coach. So he helped me get from Rain Middle School over to St. Ed's, and he believed in me. So I just had a lot of great influences. I was around some of the best coaches, some of around the best programs. So like. That was like a teaching tool to me. So I didn't know like I was being groomed for this, but I was in a sense. Like God had a plan. And he was doing all this stuff to me, and then like I was just like, picking up information
He was
from great
paving your
coaching.
path.
Yeah, he sure was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fantastic. I love that. So you also have another element that ties and blends beautifully into your business. So, you're talking about your body, you're talking about your mind, but it's what you feed into your body too.
Absolutely.
So talk about the other element to your business.
So
Hutch.
how Hutch Nutrition was born was that, like, on the Hutch Sports Academy, right over at 755 West Smith Road, that we have I have batting cages, so this turns into like a baseball field, and there's a lot of athletes that pour through that facility. So with that being said, one day I was, we just got done training with a baseball team, and I heard this kid say, I'm hungry, and his mom's like, all right, you know what? We'll get you McDonald's.
Oh my
And I was
God.
like, that.
No.
I was like, that whole workout was for nothing.
Yeah.
So then I started to thinking, and then I had some other people that influenced me that were talking about a nutrition shop, things like that. So then that's when Hutch Nutrition was born, and we felt that we wanted to do something special for our athletes. Like, the way we set up everything over there is for them to even come in there, do their homework. They can get a tea for energy, pre-workouts before, and then they can also come back and do protein drinks, or a lot of the athletes will bring their protein drink over, put it in the refrigerator, so when they're done with their workouts, or at the gym, they can also place the order. So they can place the order at the gym, and then it'll be ready for them when they're done with their workout. So my goal was, like, even in our sports facility, we have Beth Favis, who's an amazing massage
Yes, I know her.
therapist. She's
her
amazing.
husband works with my husband on the fire department.
She's amazing.
Yes, she is
so
amazing.
She works on me, like, I have a massage day at 1 o'clock. I love her, and she works in our facility.
Yeah.
And then we have like Normatec boots. We have recovery. We have infrared treatment that we also have in our facility. So it's like we want a one-stop shop for our athletes. It's not like we want them to have access to every single thing and the best of the equipment, and that's why our athletes right now are. I feel like we're cutting edge because of everything that we offer and have for our athletes, and nutrition is critical. So we're really trying to get our athletes to believe in that and make better choices. And I think that's
and not
why,
eat McDonald's.
No, that's once that happened, I was like, man, we got to do something. Like,
Yeah.
It's got to be different.
Yeah.
And we got to have something for them that they can understand. So that's what's happening. And then our other athletes that are real serious, the guys that are getting D1 scholarships, things like that. The young guys are learning from them and starting to understand that wow, he's huge. Well, he eats right, sleeps.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot of kids don't sleep.
Well, yes, I can. Yes, I can.
They don't
attest to
sleep.
that.
It's too much screen time.
Yeah.
Too much time on TVs or phones and things like that. And we really need to change the way they eat, the way they sleep, recovery. All these things. It's not just one thing.
Yeah. So who do you think is your biggest, who is it that you serve the most? Is it the students or the professional athletes? If you look at your demographics inside your business,
I would say that absolutely the students, because this is the craziest thing, is that I've trained kids since they've been like in 6th grade, like Mason Schreck. I trained him since he was in 6th grade, and he played in the NFL for over 6 years.
Wow.
So we pride ourselves. We built our own athletes, our own professional athletes, in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're proud of those things, like John Teskey, things like that. And then we get here and there players from the Browns or things like that want to work on speed, things like that. So I've had God has blessed me in a lot of ways with great relationship with great people, and then being able to go down to XP Sports, where that's where the factory of, you're talking NFL, some of the best, best training, and to be able to have access to go down there anytime is amazing also.
Wow.
So I've learned, like, every year I spend time and go down there, because this is a continuing learning process. Training has evolved greatly. It's vastly different. So from when I was at St. Ad's to where training is now, it's like unbelievable what is
Well,
happening.
I think that we tied that into, the psychology and the mental pieces
Oh,
to
absolutely.
that. Is you talk about these kids and their screen times, is you didn't have to worry about that when you were in high school.
No.
I didn't have to worry about that. We didn't
No.
even have cell phones in high school, right?
No, and I
So
think it was a
it's like-
blessing.
yes, my daughter, my 22-year-old daughter says that all the time. I wished that cell phones didn't even exist
Yep.
because it changed her generation. That's all they know. They don't know how to communicate, or they don't know how to.
That's exactly how it is.
Yeah.
And I think it hurts kids in a lot of different ways. Like, they rather text you. Some of these kids can text you a book.
Yeah.
But then when you're in their face, they can't tell
can't
you
have a
anything.
conversation.
They can't have a conversation.
Yeah.
And I keep telling them that, like, listen, people are going to want to hear your voice. I said, you have to be a leader. You're going to have to lead this team. You got to get into more relationship type of things, So we talk about that all the time, with the athletes.
Yeah. So one of the things that I know that was our connection came through our mutual friend Brian,
Right.
and how you changed his son's life forever, and he came to you and he shared one of the things that I needed to meet you was that you care so deeply. You're not just a business owner that has this athlete, business. You go to their meets, you drive, you are in there, you infiltrate into these kids' lives to the point where you care probably more than some of their family does.
Well, yeah, the thing is, like, this is a gift. I have a gift from God. Like, He gave me a gift to help kids and help people. I say I'm a servant. That is real critical when you need to find out before you train an athlete. And I tell other trainers, like, we get a lot of interns now and things like that. And I tell them, you got to find out what makes them tick.
Yeah.
You have to find, like, who really wants to come and work hard like this? And you know what I mean? Not really a lot of people want to do that.
No.
So I said, there has to be a reason. There's a why. Why does this kid want to come to this place? And
Because it's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be easy. And
Right.
I tell them, like, once you get through this, you're going to start to figure out I could do anything. And I said, if you apply this same work ethic in your grades, in your life, I said, it's going to be like a cup that just keeps overflowing. It's going to overflow. And you're just going to be like, you're going to get blessed in so many different ways. And
Yeah.
it starts with believing in you.
Yeah.
So I tell them, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody's going to believe in you.
No.
And that's it. And I said, like, a lot of people think, oh, Hutch trains, some of the best athletes. No, what they don't understand is there's a lot of kids, and I'm sad to say this, that they're bullied.
Yeah.
They're bullied, and they come to me because, they're getting bullied or being put down, or it's a lot of different reasons that happen in that facility. And I tell people all the time, like, a kid in a situation where he's overweight and people are making fun of him to the point where he's being homeschooled. Like, and that messes with the kid's psyche.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And I tell people, like, once you destroy that inner child, you know what I mean? Like, that kid is forced to grow up fast and he has this protective mechanism and all this stuff going on and anxiety built up. And we come in and we're like, no, when you come here, this is your safe place. And I said, anything that you want to do, you can change. You just got to put the work in. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just putting the work in. And when we get those kids and we start to see them change and they come in, like, we had, when you see a kid come in and say, I lost 20 pounds, and we just hug him.
Oh my
But it's
gosh.
that feeling,
Accomplishment.
so I was at a track meet the other day. So this parent tells me, my daughter hasn't PR'd since sophomore year. So I look her in her eye and say, she won't PR today. And the lady's like, look at me. I go, you gotta believe. So I said, where your daughter at? So she's starting to run, coming down, and I just start encouraging her, yelling at her, telling her, you can do this. And this is to get the regionals. This girl, she came in third and she PR'd. You know what I mean? But it was because of just motivating and believing.
Yeah.
And she know, and this girl Sophia is an amazing athlete, but the power of positiveness.
Oh, yeah.
The power of, being with this athlete and knowing that I believe in her.
Yeah.
And to see her accomplish that, is pretty amazing. So and then all our athletes started killing it. It was like, I'm getting hugs from everybody. I'm like, I gotta come here more. But it was just, the energy of these kids, and you know what kids want, and what I figured out doing this year after year, they just want somebody to believe in them.
Yeah.
Other than their family.
Yeah.
And the minute that happens, and then, like Brian is an amazing man.
Yeah.
And I told him that, I don't even know him, but he just talked to me one day. And you can learn so much from people when you just listen.
Yeah.
So when I was with Brian, he was telling me about his son and how his son, positiveness affects him better. Mm-hmm. So, what I learned as a trainer is some kids, you got to be like, they react to da-da-da-da. If you keep your thumb on them, they react better. Mm-hmm. But it's almost like they want that attention, but you got to keep your thumb on them. Mm-hmm. Or other kid, you could just be like, he needs love and reinforcement, so you got to hug him. Mm-hmm. Hug him, keep talking to him how great he is, building him up. Some kids need that. You know what I mean? So you learn different personalities. That's why, every trainer, it's, people may think, well, I started this, you know what I mean? But the trainers around me are amazing, like Antoine, amazing trainer. I trained Antoine since he was a kid, and now he works for me. Wow. But he's an amazing trainer, gentle spirit. We have Lee, he's an accountant by day, but he's an amazing person, and Mike Ross. So I am blessed with Allie, all these trainers. Is what make this place special. It's not just me. Yeah. And what happened was I was very picky in these trainers because I said, these personalities, if whatever kid comes in this facility, that somebody's personality gotta match.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that's what we did. So it's not just, it's a team of people. And then Sue Bennett. So Sue Bennett, that's like my boss. So me and her together made this facility, made this business because she believed in me. Aww. So everybody needs somebody to believe in them. Right. So this is the craziest thing. When my mother passed, I was super close to my mom. So everything I do is really about my mom and my dad. But my mother was my mom and dad came from Trinidad, so I'm full-blooded West Indian. My mom and dad are from Trinidad, Tobago. So they ain't even, when they came over here, they didn't even know what snow looked like. So
they came here to Ohio?
Yeah, with 8th grade educations, and built a home. Built a home, sent me to St. Ed's, did all these great things. Wow. So, my passion and my work ethic come from my mom and dad. So when my mom would do everything for me, I was her baby. My mom would pay my bills, was on my bank account. People don't understand. She was everything to me. So when my mom passed, in a sense, I got lost for a second. And then Miss Bennett, God made me meet Miss Bennett, Sue Bennett. And she changed my life because at a time when I was in need, she believed. And she told me, you have a special gift to help people. She said, I don't know what it is, but you have something. So I was sitting at her, I will never forget the day that I was sitting in her office and sitting next to her, and she's showing me how to take something with passion. You have so much passion about how to make it a business. So I didn't know how to, you know what I mean? LLCs. And,
LLCs and S-corps and
all this stuff. I had no idea.
I just want to train people.
I just want to get in there. I want to be in the battlefield. So to this day, when I was coming here, I was on the phone with her. So I want her to know how much I love her. And with
And how did you meet?
We met through me and Medina training. I started with Kenny Rhoda. Kenny Rhoda's an awesome man too, and I'm close to him, and Cameron. And it started with Cameron, and then they introduced me to her. But she was the person who she would come to Berea, and she was coming from Medina to Berea, and she's like, we got to get this guy right. So she was the one who really just, her and her husband, that she just, you know what I mean? I love her so much. She's like a sister I never had. She just so special, and she really helped me, you know what I mean, with my talent. She's the one that, to this day, I couldn't be without her. Aww. To this day, I sit up here and think, me and her been together so long, and for her to see this growth, that's why I keep pushing the envelope and try to grow bigger and bigger
Yeah,
and bigger.
yeah.
Because she believed in me so much.
Wow.
So she's a big
She's
part
your
of my,
cheerleader.
yeah, she be out. No, she my boss. Believe me, she cracked the whip on me every single day. Every single day, and she won't let me. She'll let me here and there when I'm doing good, but she don't play around. But that's she reminds me of my mother,
Yeah.
and that's what my mother would crack the whip like that. Like
Yeah.
when you thought you was good, she'll humble you real fast.
Yeah.
So
My mom does that too.
Yeah, when you just think you doing something like, nah, you got so much work to do. So.
Well, thank you for taking time. You are a very busy man, and I thank you so much. We end our show with words of wisdom, and you've impacted me just sitting here. We had met before the show, and I had the honor of having this time with you. But share with our viewers today words of wisdom, because you gave us a lot of it today. But how would you like to end the show with us?
What I would like to end the show is, I say, believe in God. Like, have faith and believe in yourself more than anything. Like, you're gonna have challenges in life and things like that, but you have to believe in yourself and gather yourself around the right people that believe in you, and I think that's very critical. And as the people that are in our gym, that's what we get them to do. We get the kids to start believing in themselves, and I think that's critical. And just to be passionate about each other and build relationships. I think relationships are critical, more critical than anything. Like, our approach has always been one athlete at a time, and if we always said if we train this kid right and we do it great by him and his family, God will bless us with more kids. And that's kind of been our way of doing it, one athlete at a time. And it's worked, so we're going to stick to that and keep building relationships.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
Until next time, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you tuning into Armstrong and Live at the Hive. I'm your host, Janice Jokkel. Until next time, toodles.
Thank you.
Armstrong is proud to support the community and local businesses. As an Armstrong Business Solutions customer, the team at the Biz Hive supports their community through Armstrong's high-speed internet connection and reliable service. Watch Armstrong Neighborhood Channel on Channel 100 or visit Armstrong Neighborhood Channel on YouTube.